The chest to wall handstand is one of the most powerful tools that you can use to help bolster, improve, and understand your handstand. But just like anything else, there's always levels to this. So I want to show you 3 different variations so you can get this into your programming as soon as possible, because the closer we can work to the handstand, the more benefit there's going to be, the quicker you're going to get there essentially, as opposed to just doing shoulder presses, military presses, anything like this. Practicing the closest possible thing to the handstand is going to be the quickest route there. So 3 options. First one is going to be on the box. So here, this is the most accessible version. Even if your shoulders aren't that open and you have trouble getting them completely overhead, totally fine. This is the first one you can work on. Now, the common theme with all of these exercises is this: I want as much shoulder elevation as you have available to you. This is going to help with the hand position over the head. Depressed scapula means we're going to have trouble getting overhead. First things first, elevate those shoulder blades to allow yourself to go completely overhead. The second important thing with these variations is you want the shoulders, hips, and hands all in one line. You want a nice stack. That's going to make more sense when we talk about things in balance, yeah? So anyway, we've got a box. This is most accessible. Hands are going to start on the floor, index fingers facing forward, fingers are spread. Then we're going to come up onto the toes, and from here, you can either soften the knees if you've got tight hamstrings, or keep your legs straight if you've got more loose hamstrings, and you're going to walk yourself in until the hands are directly underneath the shoulder, underneath the hips, and you would hold here for time. Again, bent knees is fine too if you're struggling to get into this position. And again, you might actually be here in this position, and that might be your box chest to wall initially, and that's okay too, wherever you're at, as long as you're working towards getting that complete stack. Then you can just walk out. Cool. The second variation then is a 45-degree handstand. So here we're going to be, as the name suggests, in a 45-degree position relative to the wall. So this is, arguably a little bit easier than this position, but now we're getting our full body up on the wall. It can be a little bit scarier. So the best way to start with this is kneeling down with your heels touching the wall. Then hands are just going to be underneath the shoulders. Now the cool thing is we don't have to walk in here. All we're going to do, index fingers facing forward, fingers spread, is lift the hips, take one foot up, other foot up, feet come together, tuck the hips, ribs are down, press the floor away, shoulder elevation, eye gaze through the brow, and we're holding here for time. You don't want to let the shoulders collapse. Keep pressing the floor away. Try to avoid arching. Tuck. Shoulders, hips, hands, one straight line. Step it down after the prescribed time has finished. Then from there, the last and final variation that you can make your way towards is a full chest to wall handstand. Now, even this has levels. So essentially, you can start in that 45, once you get really comfortable with that, and then you can start taking little steps towards the wall. Maybe it's just one step with each hand for the first time you do it. And then you get really good at that over a couple of weeks, and then you go closer, and then you go even closer, right? But you don't have to rush this. If you're convulsing when you're upside down, and you're just struggling to hold yourself there, you're making it too hard, too quick. Let the body adjust to being able to carry your body weight on your wrists, elbows, and shoulders, right? It's going to be a lot if you've never done this before. So like I mentioned, there's levels to this. You don't have to go all the way in. That's the goal over time. So what that might look like is this. We can start in that same position in front of the wall. Hips can come up, feet can come up, and now we're just going to walk. And maybe you stay here. Over time, here. Over time, even closer, until one day you're about a palm's length from the wall. You can press really tall, hips are tucked, thighs are tight, and you don't want to do that going over. But that might happen, and if you go in too fast, too quick, there's a chance that might happen because you don't know what to do when you're there. Let me do that one more time and not stuff up. So ideally we'd be getting into that same chest to wall position, walking in nice and close. This time I'm not going to fall, tucking the hips and holding here for the prescribed time. This is your full chest to wall that you're working towards. Full elevation, arms are straight, eyes looking where the floor meets the wall, and either walking or kicking back down. So, as you can tell, there's levels to this. Start on the box. Once that gets comfortable, start with the 45. Once that gets comfortable, slowly work your way closer and closer and closer to the wall till you're completely upside down and can hold that for 3 sets of 1 minute. And that is your chest to wall progressions.